Hi guys, so today I am here with Ask Kirsten number 18. For those of you that are new to my channel, Ask Kirstens are my Q&A videos and I used to do them all the time. My last one I actually did in April, so since then a lot has changed. And like I said, I used to do them all the time. I used to keep up with them, but I just haven't done one in a while. So I figured now was the perfect time to do another Ask Kirsten. So if you guys have any questions for the next Ask Kirsten, feel free to put them in the comments below, and I try to answer as many as I can in these videos. So I'm going to go ahead back to Ask Kirsten number 17 and just kind of answer the questions that were in the comments, which are probably super old, but we're going with it. So the first question is from Erin Shell, and it says, do you use any face masks? If so, what kind would you recommend? Yes, I have used a ton of face masks. My favoriteest face mask of all time is the Lush Cosmetics Cupcake Mask. I love Lush, and their cupcake mask is literally amazing. It's meant for oily skin or acne skin, and I have acne skin, but I have dry skin. So it really just helped clear my skin, and it was the best mask ever. And you're only supposed to use it like once or twice a week, and I used it like every single day. I love that mask. I also love the Glam Glow. I love the Boscia Black Mask. I really do like masks. Those are my favorites right now, so those are probably the three that I would definitely recommend. Caitlin Lindsay says, the favorite color to paint your nails. I haven't painted my nails in a really long time. It's been quite a while since I've painted my nails. But my favorite color usually to paint my nails, I did this a lot in high school, was do all of my nails with like a nice nude color. I have a really nice nude from Essie, I don't even remember the name of it. And then on my ring finger, or like any statement finger I guess, I would put like a rose gold, and it just looked so pretty. I love doing that. I did that a lot in high school and back when I had really long nails, and I loved it. It's so pretty. Charlotte Platt says, what is your favorite genre of music? Also, what are your favorite plugs / tunnels to wear? P.S. Blonde hair really suits you. Thank you. So I don't know, I like a lot of different genres of music. Mostly like I kind of like to base it off of my Pandora stations. So I really honestly, my Pandora stations, the ones I listen to the most are like 90s pop, which is like mostly like Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, like really old pop music that I'm still obsessed with. Like I don't even listen to like the current hits anymore because we don't have a radio. So I don't really like the Today's Hits channel on Pandora because I don't even know any of the songs. So I really like 90s pop, 90s alternative. I also really like the dubsteppy, electronic, trap, house sort of music. I'm really into that. That's probably my favorite. And then my favorite plugs, tunnels to wear, I like the heart ones that I have right now, these white tunnels that are hearts. These are really cute. I got them from Amazon. A lot of the plugs I get are from Amazon. But I also have like white silicone tunnels that I like too. They're like the comfiest to wear. Those are probably my favorite. Elizabeth Betancourt says, what has been your longest relationship? My longest relationship is the relationship I'm currently in with Brian. We've been together for almost 3 years and 11 months, so almost 4 years, and that's been my longest. Other than Brian, my longest was 8 months. Lily Loft says, what's your natural hair color? I get this question all of the time. My natural hair color, it's honestly coming in right now in the roots, as you guys can see, but it's like every time I dye my hair dark and it like fades out, it's that faded out like dirty blonde brown color, light brown color. It's that color. It's a really fun question. This is from Marisol de Leon. And it says, if you found a super expensive makeup product, like something you don't have but you've always wanted, out on the street, and it looked like it had never been used but the seal was broken, would you keep it for yourself and eventually use it? I had to think about this because like my first initial thought was like reality, like no one's gonna be throwing away some like super expensive, you know, foundation on the street. But I don't know, I think if I did find something and it was like my shade and something I've been wanting for a really long time, like, you know, like a naked palette just laying out there, yeah, I probably would use it, and that's disgusting, but you can always sanitize makeup, so. Dolly McGuire says, what is your most embarrassing period story? I don't have any embarrassing period stories. I've never, like, you know, knock on wood, like leaked out or anything and like been embarrassed. I've always just had issues with like cramping at school and like just wanting to cry and die in the middle of class because I was in such bad cramps, and you can't just, you know, pop a Midol right in class. So, and that's not really embarrassing either, so. Maria Satiris, I'm so sorry if I pronounced any of your names wrong. She says, how many houses have you changed? I've kept up with you since 2012. Well, since I started filming YouTube videos, I've lived in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 6 houses since I've been on YouTube, which has only been like 3 years. But in my entire life, it's been 12. It's been 12. So it's been 12 houses in my entire, 12, 13. 13? No, 12. It's been 12 houses my entire life, but yeah, I move a lot. It happens. It happens. If you guys are unfamiliar, I've moved a lot because I'm a military dependent. So when I was growing up, my stepdad was in the military, so we were stationed different places and we had to move houses a lot, so that's why I've moved to so many different houses. Daniela Hernandez says, how did you feel when you first started using makeup? I really liked when I first started using makeup. I definitely kind of overdid a lot of it, like especially the eyeliner. I would just like completely just go crazy with it. If you saw my reacting to old pictures video, you kind of saw that. But I didn't feel actually I did feel a lot more confident when I started wearing makeup, but I don't know. I didn't use like the greatest products, so it's whatever. Sol De Leon asked another question. She says, if you apply for cash wrap at Sephora, do you still get to go through brand training? On the application, I don't think you get to choose like where you like end up as far as the worlds go. Leadership ends up deciding, you know, where you're best suited for. But if you do end up getting hired and working at the cash wrap or the cash register, depending on how big your store is, and honestly, the way at least our store was, depending on how busy it was the day that brands came in, it depended on how many people would get trained. So I know when it was super busy on like Saturdays and stuff like that, and we had a bunch of brands there, mostly just color would get trained. If it was a color brand, or skincare would get trained if it was a skincare brand. But if it was slower, or if, you know, the brands were really fast about training, I know a lot of people at Cash Wrap that were able to get trained as well, which is really nice. Haley Beauty says, how was it living with Brian's parents for a while? Did you feel comfortable? I lived with both of Brian's parents, actually. I lived with his mom and her boyfriend for about 9 to 10 months with Brian, obviously. And then for the past like 6 months, I've lived with Brian's dad, and I completely felt comfortable. Their family is, you know, really open, really nice people. They're not like strict or anything, clearly, because I was living there. And I honestly, when I lived in California, I worked a lot, so I rarely ever saw his family. Like, I was constantly at work, and I worked like all throughout the day, so when I would come home from work, everybody would be asleep. So I didn't really see them that often, but when I did, it was totally fine. And then Brian's dad, I've known Brian's dad since Brian and I started dating, so it's, I mean, we're not like, we're pretty cool, cordial and cool with each other. It's not an issue. So yeah, I definitely felt comfortable. Love Style Live says, apart from your mom and siblings, what do you miss most about home? That's probably the only thing that I miss about living at home, was being around my family. My family lives in Virginia right now, and I only lived in Virginia with them for about 9 months, and I hated it. I don't hate Virginia, I just hated the area that I lived in. I just really couldn't, I don't know. I lived here, like I lived in this town before that for about 7 years, so I was so used to this. I was also like going into my senior year of high school at a new school, and I was really just pissed off about that. So that just kind of added to my hatedness, my complete hate for Virginia. So that's the only thing I really miss about living at home, because I technically don't really like have like a home that I've grown up in and lived in forever. Like, I could see if I grew up somewhere and I grew up there since I was born and raised in one specific house, like I would miss the area and all of that, but I just miss my family, and that's about it. Beauty and Braid 01 says, this is a really random question, but what do you call Brian's parents? I just call them by their first names. I don't know. I mean, when I first met them, I obviously called them like Mr. and Mrs. or ma'am and sir, and I still say ma'am and sir to everybody, but yeah, it's their first names. Hey Reed says, what's your favorite app at the moment? Oh my god, do I love apps. My favorite game right now is Kitchen Scramble. It's a Disney game, and it's so much fun. I love like the Cooking Dash, like cooking type games, because I don't know, I like the focus that I have to play that game. So I've been playing Kitchen Scramble a lot. Other than that, my other favorite app is the What to Expect app, just because I learn new things about my baby every day and it's really fun. And other than that, probably like social media. Brenda Trujillo? I probably said that so wrong. I'm so sorry. She said, what's one food that you can't get tired of? I honestly cannot get tired of spaghetti. I could eat spaghetti probably every day and still be completely fine with it. I love spaghetti. It's really good. I love Palm Trees 08 says, do you ever get anxiety about being on YouTube and not knowing who's watching you? No. I mean, honestly, if I were to like sit down and really think about like all of the maybe creeps that watch videos, or people that I know, people that I went to school with in high school, and people that I know personally watch my videos, that doesn't really freak me out or anything, because if they want to watch me, they can feel free to watch me, guys. You know, you haven't seen me since high school. I'm still here, still alive, still kicking. But no, I don't really get anxiety about it. Yeah, not really. Josie Campos says, do you wish you would have went to a state university for the on-campus atmosphere experience for a college instead of starting at a community college? No. Actually, absolutely not. I am very happy that I'm doing what I'm doing now. I'm actually doing online school now, which is nice because I can stay at home, I can take care of myself right now, and then eventually a baby. So I did want to go to a university, but I did not want to go right away, and I didn't want the on-campus experience. I just didn't really care for it. I didn't have like a really big want to go to like join a sorority and go to a university. Like, I just didn't really care for that. I've always wanted to go to a community college first to do the general education courses, because why spend a lot of money to get general education courses when you can get the exact same education at a community college for a much lesser price. So I've always wanted to do that and then transfer to a university, but right now what I'm doing is getting my degree online, and I'm stoked about it, and I have no problems with it whatsoever because it's exactly what I want to do right now. Alright, so the last question I'm going to answer from you guys is from Allison Kopp 1122. It says, what was your favorite band, song, TV show, and movie as a kid? So growing, oh, I should probably exit out of that actually. So growing up, my favorite, like, I guess, band was the Backstreet Boys, and it still is. Like, I'm still obsessed with the Backstreet Boys. I have no issues telling you guys that, because, like, I love the Backstreet Boys. So I was obsessed with them and Britney Spears growing up. My favorite song, I don't really remember what my favorite song was. I'm sure I pretty much, like, loved everything and sang along to everything Disney or anything like that, so that was probably my favorite song. My favorite movie... I had a lot of favorite movies when I was little. How the Grinch Stole Christmas was definitely a big one. I would watch that like in the summer and be so stoked about it. I loved any Disney movie. I was obsessed with all Disney movies. I was obsessed when I was really, really little, up to like maybe 10. I was obsessed with Barney. That was my thing. Like, I would watch Barney. I would obsess over Barney. I loved Barney. But yeah, so that is it for Ask Kirsten number 18. Like I said at the beginning, if you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll answer them in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this, got to know me a little bit better. Subscribe to me if you're not already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.